Welcome in to Tuddy Talk, Week 7. I am Devyn, here alone, just recording for you. This week, we're just going to go through power rankings, keep it really easy. I'm going to go through my picks. I will update you guys on who Gifford picks, because I still haven't heard from him. Unfortunately, this week has been rough for communication. Going over the competition for last week, we had Tommy take down Brittany 20 points. By 20 points. Unfortunately, both of them had a really good week for their teams, but Tommy ended up coming out on top by 20 points. Congratulations. For week 7, we are going to have Dirty 30. That means anybody's starting player that gets the closest to 30 points is going to get the $10 this week. Good luck to everybody, and make sure that you have, starting players. Looking at you, Sammy and Zach. You guys have about 3 spots that are open. Getting right into our power rankings. At number 12, actually at the bottom, we're not going to have many mix-ups compared to last week. Last week I was number 12. This week I am number 12 as well. My name this week is Nate Mitchell. Pleased to meet you. I still have Lamar, Austin Eckler, Bijan Robinson, and unfortunately those guys have not really panned out the way that I've wanted them to this year, but I haven't had a team that was at full strength yet, so we'll see. And then I have Amon-Ra and Devontae Smith. Seem to go off at different times. Hopefully they can put something together that's solid. At tight end, I'm going back to Njoku. Not because I want to, but because I have to. It's not looking good at tight end for me. If anybody knows anybody that has some good tight ends, let me know. At flex, because I have Brees on a bye, I am going with Roschon Johnson. And that's on purpose this week. However, he is questionable right now with a concussion. Did not practice on Thursday, so who really knows if that's going to work out. Devontae Smith, I should have mentioned, is questionable with a hamstring. He should play, though. Bench, same as last week. I don't really think I made any big moves other than my kicker. I got Brandon McManus instead of Pinheiro. That's the only change. At number 11, we have Brittany, collecting very little points. At quarterback, we have Jordan Love because Joe Burrow, after 1 or 2 weeks of doing really well, is now on bye. At running back, it's not looking great because we just lost Kyron Williams. She just lost Kyron Williams. Out, ankle, gonna be probably a couple weeks, unfortunately. Now, instead, we have A.J. Dillon starting right there. He hasn't been great, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
I didn't have anyone else. I couldn't start anybody else.
It happens. 0-6 is not a bad place to be.
Look me in the face and tell me that in my own home.
0-6 is not an unescapable place to be. That's better. How about that?
With my lineup?
We'll see. I think that you can pull out a couple wins
I
here
will
and there.
escape
I don't
0-6
know.
because I'm going down to 0-7. That's how.
I don't think that's it.
Sure.
Next up at wide receiver, I would probably call this your strength, unfortunately.
God, they're bad too.
Chris Olave and Jordan Addison are not bad.
They're not
They're
good.
just young and they go back and forth. Cole Kmet is your starting tight end. Unfortunately, Justin Fields may not play.
Oh my
So
god.
that's not looking great there either.
Jesus.
Curtis Samuel at your flex. He's actually been fine.
He's been fine.
He's been fine.
My
There's
star.
been some Commanders receivers that have been all right.
My star, Curtis Samuel.
Your star, Curtis Samuel. He has had a lot of potential throughout his career, but has never really cashed in. But yeah, he's still riding that. Your bench is, it's looking pretty much the same as last week. You did end up dropping Anthony Richardson, which it's a fine move. You have to do what you have to do.
You told me to drop Anthony Richardson.
I mentioned it's probably a good idea. It's unfortunate that you had to do it because he's such a good player. We might not do keepers, so it might not even be worth getting him for anybody that has an extra spot on their IR. Justin Tucker is still your kicker, and you have Washington at defense. At number 10, staying at number 10, actually, we have Scott. Michael Mayers. That's a good name. I like it. Justin Herbert, quarterback. At running back, I think I mentioned this before, but your running backs are no longer your strength. They have quickly devolved into below mid, I would say. Najee and Rashad White are not what you want in your two starting running backs. Unfortunately, Dameon Pierce is on bye, so again, got to do what you got to do. Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Those are two really good wide receivers, but Puka is starting to take a back seat because obviously Cooper Kupp is there. Let's see, Michael Mayer, up-and-coming tight end, just like so many in the league right now. But he hasn't done much, and now Jimmy G is hurt and probably won't even play. At flex, another Commanders receiver, Terry McLaurin. Should be a number one, but he obviously has not really proven that this year. Your bench, like I mentioned, Dameon Pierce is on bye. Christian Kirk, I might play him over Terry. Are you even starting Terry at this point? I think you may be starting somebody else. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm right. Terry. Christian Kirk is about the same level as Terry, so really it's up and down. Cortland Sutton is ass. Quentin Johnston has not proven anything so far. And then Amari DeMarcado. You picked him up because of James Conner, and, well, how has that helped you? It hasn't really. Greg Joseph and Seattle for you. At number 9, we have Gifford, a.k.a. Jonnu Reeves, a.k.a. John Wick. It's a long name. It's a mouthful. Let's just leave it at that. Gifford, you're not here to defend yourself, so really, I dropped you a spot there. At QB, Brock Purdy has not been... I mean, he didn't do well last week. We can say that. Because you dropped down to, 79 points, I believe? That's not what you want. Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams, fine. Kenneth has been great. Javonte's... he hasn't been. But Tony Pollard is on bye, so you got to do it. Let's see. A lot of byes this week. Calvin Ridley, A.J. Brown. Calvin's actually playing right now. How is he doing? I'm going to live update this because it is currently Thursday night, and that's what I can do during that game. 0 points. Well, Apple has 3.2 from Kamara and 8 from New Orleans right now. But yeah, 0 points from Calvin Ridley at the moment.
Apple wheels.
Johnny Smith, as your name implies, is your tight end. And, I mean, he's been better than Kyle Pitts, so good pickup. I just picked him up in the Guillotine League, actually. Christian Watson is your flex. I'm fine with that. Kareem Hunt is on your bench. I think that he could probably break out this game. I think he can take that job fully from Jerome Ford. Let's see. Michael Thomas and George Pickens are your other players on your bench other than the Jets. But, I mean, your lineup's fine. It's ninth place for a reason. I don't think you're going to continue to do well. At number 8, we have Tommy. Let's see. Young Hose still, despite dropping Coop. I think you should change your name, but that's a conversation for another time. Deshaun Watson, questionable with his shoulder. He was limited on Thursday. We will see if he ends up playing. He's missed a couple games already. Travis Etienne is playing right now. He's already got a touchdown. Good for you. I'm still picking Paris against you, though. Ezekiel Elliott, I don't want anything to do with him. Drake London, Michael Pittman, both really surprised me last week. I thought that Brittany might have been able to pull something off, but those two really proved something that I did not expect them to. So let's hope that they can continue to do that. Your two tight ends, Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews, they're still solid. Mark Andrews put up about 8. I would like to see more from him. But Travis Kelce put up another 18 points. Week in, week out. That's what you expect. On your bench, Jerry Jeudy, ass. Tyler Algier, ass. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's good. I like him. I'll be nice to him. Tutu Atwell, ass. Joe Mixon is good, but he's on bye. So, unfortunate. Mecole Hardman, really? Because he got traded back to Kansas City? Now they have, 7 wide receivers? I don't want anything to do with him. Jason Myers, one of the best kickers in the league, and Green Bay's defense for you. At number 7, staying at number 7, we have Eric. Let them cook. Let's see. What is notable about your team this week? Well, Debo is questionable right now. He is questionable with his shoulder day to day, and he may play on Monday Night Football. That one you need, because who are you going to play instead? Let's see. Nobody. You don't have another wide receiver to replace him, so it's Debo or bust for you. At flex, you have Aaron Jones. He is your other notable person because he is also questionable with a hamstring. However, he is practicing in a limited fashion this week, so you hope to see him out there. If he doesn't play, you got Jerick McKinnon. I thought you were playing Jerick McKinnon. Never mind. Forget I said it. Let's see. Gus Edwards is starting in there. He's been serviceable, but again, I said it last week. I don't really like Baltimore running backs. Justin Jefferson still on your IR. So cool. Oh, I guess your other buys are Brandon Cooks, Tank Dell, and a guy named Jamar Chase. I'm not sure who that is, but they're on buy. At number 6, we have Paris. Harris like France. Down 1, actually, from last week. You were at 5, now you're at 6. QB, Patrick Mahomes, and the real reason I dropped you, because head-to-head against Tatani, I would pick Tatani right now. Your running backs are not it. Zach Moss, yes, he proved something last week, even with... Ooh, who's that? ETN, another touchdown, live, right now. Anyway, Zach Moss... Oh, he's playing against you, Paris. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate timing. Zach Moss scored about 18 last week. However, Jonathan Taylor is getting back into his home. I don't know how long Zach Moss will be able to continue that. Tyler Lockett and Dallas Goedert are both questionable, one with a hamstring, one with a groin, respectively, and they have both practiced limited fashion this week. So you hope to see them both out there. Your buys, Devyn Singletary, DeAndre Hopkins, and Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen has been your MVP, and unfortunately he is out on bye.
ETN's at 17 points.
He's killing it. ETN is doing really well. Your IR spots, you still haven't filled those. I don't know if it's because you don't listen, but that's impossible, right? Everybody in the league listens to the podcast. Right? Devon Achane should be on IR. Khalil Herbert should be on IR, but they're on your bench. Change that out. Nate, if you're listening, let Paris know. At number 5, I mentioned it earlier, Tatani, you're up 1. Kiddle me this, Batman. I like it. It's a good one. Sam Howell, he's Sam Howell. I liked him from the beginning, but obviously I wasn't going to play him because I'm not that risky, unfortunately. Your standout right now is Jahmyr Gibbs. Questionable with a hamstring. He is practicing in a limited fashion. We, like I said before, hope to see him out there. If you do not have him, you have Zach Evans, so that's good. The backup for the Rams, and I mean the starter for the Rams right now because Kyron's out. Your buys really hit you out of nowhere. You have CeeDee Lamb, Chuba Hubbard, Nico Collins, and Tyjae Spears. Oh, and Dallas's defense. So, I mean, good job collecting a bunch of bunch of players to plug them in, like Josh Downs. Let's see, Brandon Ayuk. He's been surprising this year. George Kittle, same team, also been surprising this year. Let's see if they can do it without Debo and without CMC. If they play. Because a lot of people were saying Brock Purdy was bad last week without those two. You still need a defense, so pick one up before the Sunday games start, or else you are stuck with, 0 from them. However, you might not even need it. Let's see. At number 4, dropping 2 spots, we have Apple. R.I.P. Kyler. Might need to change that name soon. I hear somebody's on the list to come back to play. Somebody's Kyler. Kyler is going to come back any week now. But are you going to replace Tua with him? I wouldn't. Your standouts are CMC and Hunter Henry and Ramondre, actually. All 3 are questionable. CMC with an oblique and rib injury. We'll see if he can play. I believe he is questionable. Well, yes, I know he's questionable right now. but it is possible that he plays Monday Night Football. He has an extra day off, so that's a good thing because you always want CMC. He only got you 12 points last week. Ew. Really get rid of him. Let's see. Tight end Hunter Henry, like I said, questionable with an ankle. He did not practice yesterday. I did not check today. That's on me. Sorry. Ramondre Stevenson, also questionable with an ankle. He was limited this week. He should be fine, but he's on your bench. If CMC doesn't play, you have him or Cam Akers. That's fine. I dropped you down to number 4 because of your performance last week. Yes, you got to win. But you got to win by 1 point and you scored 89 points. That is not what we expect from our number 1, number 2 team in the league. Get better or you're going to continue dropping. Your only bye this week is Garrett Wilson, but let's be honest, he hasn't been helping you anyway. Alvin Kamara is currently playing. I mentioned him earlier. Hollywood Brown, his quarterback, like I mentioned, is coming back soon, so we'll see if he can pick it up. Let's see, Mike Evans is starting to look a little old, too. On to number 3. Number 3, Sammy or Zach. Sammy, Genius Team, and Zach, too. Kirk Cousins was your quarterback last week. I guess you made the right choice. Neither one of your quarterbacks really performed very well, but Justin Fields got hurt. So we'll see if he can even play. Your questionables. Sam Laporta, unfortunately, one of the best tight ends this year. He is questionable with a calf, and he has been practicing limitedly this week. And you need him, because who else do you have? Luke Musgrave, I guess. You have 3 tight ends. That's crazy. Your other questionable is Damian Harris. As we all saw, unfortunately, he had to get ambulanced off, not just carted off, because of a head and neck injury. We all hope that he's doing all right, but he wasn't going to start for you anyway. So, because you have Raheem Mostert and Isaiah Pacheco, who both have exceeded my expectations this year. Unfortunately, Raheem showed it against me last week. Congratulations on your win, by the way. Hope to see you both at Halloween. At number 2, we have Nate. Too fast, too felonious. I dropped you 1 because, well, you can't be above Chris because he just beat you. I know you would have won many other weeks, but last week was the one that counted, week 6, and you lost. So here we are. Questionable. Josh Allen with a shoulder injury. He was limited this week practicing, so we'll see. I assume he plays. It didn't look too bad. Jonathan Taylor, Brian Robinson, they're both good because you're playing Brian Robinson because you have Derrick Henry on your bye. Luckily for you, I mean, it's the only bye that you have this week, so you got out kind of scot-free. Let's see. Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, TJ Hawkinson. All solid. The team's solid all around. Gabe Davis is great. I love him. Let's see. Jahan Dotson, Elijah Moore, Donta Foreman, all serviceable backups. Harrison Butker and Philly for your 2 guys at the end. And as I mentioned, number 1 is Chris. Welcome back to the top. Currently, you are not in the top in the league, but you're well on your way. We all know that. There's a lot of 3-3 teams this year, but you are not one of them because you're 4-2 after your bad start. You have now won 4 in a row. That is why you are at number 1. Congratulations on all of your trades and making it this far. However, this week you have 2 questionables. DK Metcalf and Saquon Barkley are both questionable for this weekend. Let's see. Saquon with an ankle. He's been limited, but he should be all right. DK got hurt with ribs and hips. So that is something to monitor. We'll keep an eye on it. If you don't have him, you have a slew of other players to put in. So you're fine. I'm not worried about you. At tight end, you have Darren Waller. Unfortunately, could not haul in that final pass from Tyrod Taylor, and it just looked silly. Tyrod marched them all the way down, and Darren Waller he just couldn't do it. The final touchdown pass would have gave them the win over the Buffalo Bills. I was hoping that night. I was really hoping that he could do it. but Darren Waller did not come through in the clutch. Other than that, really, your team's still solid all around. Yes, the Justin Jefferson injury hurt you, but you still have a great team because you got Cooper right in there. There's really nothing that I can pick apart. I mean, Jalen Hurts did get 3 interceptions last week against the Jets, so that's something to pick apart. But I wouldn't drop him. I wouldn't trade him because he's still the best quarterback in the league. And that's all I have to say about that. Congratulations to everybody who has kept their sanity throughout this long season that we have. It is now week 7, and I'm going to go over my picks. Like I mentioned earlier, I do not have Gifford's picks this week, so I will just be reciting mine. First up, we have me versus Scott. And in this one, I mean, just like every week. Oh. Just like every week.
Oh, baby, it's okay.
Just like every week, I pick my team because I am a fool for punishment, and I'm going to be continuing that. I am picking me over Scott. Sorry. In the matchup between Brittany and Chris. Now, this one might surprise you. It's not going to surprise anybody. I'm picking Chris.
I'm going to get murdered.
There's really no chance. At this point, I mean, second quarter, 10 minutes left for Chris Olave playing Thursday Night Football. You have 2 points, 2.7 points from Chris Olave. That's not what you want right now. You need best game ever from everybody there. So I'm picking Chris. Next up, we have Tommy versus Paris. I alluded to it earlier. Unfortunately, I made these picks before Thursday Night Football, and, Travis Etienne has 17 points already in the first half. I picked Paris to win this. I think this is a good chance for Gifford to catch up to me. Let's see. Next up, we have Kiddle Me This, Batman versus Too Fast, Too Felonious. In this one, no real surprise. I'm going with Nate. Not a lot of upsets that I'm picking this week, unless you want to count me as an upset, which I never do, because actually I have upset a lot of people, and I'm sorry to everybody that I've upset. I hope to upset one more person this week. I'm going to cut this part. I hope to upset Scott this week, because he has upset me a lot this year. We're going to move on past that. And go to Jonu Reeves, a.k.a. John Wick. Oh, did I say I'm picking Nate? Yes, I did. Nate, I'm picking you. R.I.P. Kyler versus Jonu Reeves. And in this one, I'm picking Apple. A lot of favorites this week. He doesn't have many points from his defense right now. He has 5. And Alvin Kamara has 3. So let's see if he can pick it up in the second half. Oh, but it doesn't matter because Calvin Ridley has 0. That's right. I forgot about that one. Matt, you're losing this week. Oh, wait. And Matt, you're winning this week. That's funny. Lastly, we have Eric versus Sammy and Zach. In this one, who did I pick? I picked Sammy and Zach. Really, it's a toss-up, but, I mean, I just hope that Eric loses. Because that would give me a chance to climb up the ranks. And that's what I need. I need a chance. Are we starting that already? I don't want to do that.
What?
I don't want to start praying that my team climbs the ranks again this year. Because that came, mid last year. Because I was in your position. I was losing bad every week.
You still only got 9th.
I'm in 11th right now. It's not looking good. I invested in the wrong position group. And, well, that's what that got me. 9th or 11th place now because we have 12. So expect me to get in the playoffs. Expect me to win. I'll say that right now. Yeah, those are my predictions for week 7. Next week, like I mentioned, look for your players to score at least 30 or around 30 to get that $10. Good luck to everybody, and I will see you all in week 8.